This video is going to be on fibrinogen, and specifically fibrinogen with regards to inflammation. You'll learn more about fibrinogen in the coagulation lectures. So fibrinogen is the insoluble precursor to fibrin. And fibrin is the thing that helps, or the protein that helps form clots in blood. So here are platelets, there's 4 platelets, and all of this fibrillar blue material is fibrin. There are 2 causes of hyperfibrinogenemia, or an increased fibrinogen concentration in blood, and they are dehydration and inflammation. Fibrinogen increases during times of inflammation because it is a positive acute phase protein, meaning that its production is increased during times of inflammation. To help us determine if the cause of the hyperfibrinogenemia is either inflammation or dehydration, we can calculate the plasma protein to fibrinogen ratio. In this column, there is a normal water to plasma protein and fibrinogen components. During times of dehydration, though, there is a decrease in the water concentration, which results in a relative increase in the protein concentration. However, the relative increases are proportionate, so the ratios don't change. So the ratio between the plasma protein and fibrinogen for the normal patient and the plasma protein and fibrinogen ratio in the dehydrated patient, they're the same ratio. So if this ratio is greater than 15 in cattle or greater than 20 in horses, then the interpretation is that the hyperfibrinogenemia is caused by dehydration. Now, during times of inflammation, fibrinogen production is increased. So this will cause the ratio, the plasma protein to fibrinogen ratio, to decrease. So if the plasma protein to fibrinogen ratio is less than 10 in cattle or less than 15 in horses, then the interpretation is inflammation. Now, there is a gray zone where we don't know if dehydration or inflammation is causing the increased fibrinogen concentration. So if it falls within that gray zone, then you don't know what is causing the hyperfibrinogenemia. This CBC is an example of how fibrinogen concentration helps us identify inflammation in large animals. And I should mention that we do only measure fibrinogen in large animals because small animals don't produce enough or consistently enough fibrinogen to be detectable during times of inflammation. So really, you're only going to see this on CBC reports from large animals, so horses, cattle, pigs. So within this CBC report, you can see that the leukogram is normal. So we don't see any signs of inflammation with regards to left shifting, and there's no toxicity noted on the blood smear evaluation. So hematologically within the leukogram, we have a normal cow. But you can see that the fibrinogen concentration is increased, so we're going to do the plasma protein to fibrinogen ratio to determine if there is dehydration or inflammation. So when you do the plasma protein to fibrinogen ratio, the result is 7.9, and note that I did have to change the units for the fibrinogen. 7.9 is less than 10 in a cow. So we have identified inflammation despite there being a normal leukogram.